For the honor of this review.
While you're here, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a video. Also, check out and subscribe to my group channel, Comic Frontline, where the Frontline 6 come together every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time for Frontline Live to discuss all the latest news in geek culture and our top 5 comics of the week. Continue the conversation on the Frontline Discord. Be sure to check out ComicFrontline.com for the latest previews, reviews, news, and interviews, along with fun, unique features and daily updates. And don't forget to follow me, Comic Book Theater, Media Manus, and Comic Frontline on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Comic Book Theater. Jay here with another review. Today I'm going to be reviewing Season 2 of She-Ra and the Princesses of Power on Netflix. Now, this is a shorter season than last season. Last season we had a full 13 episode season. This season we have 7 episodes. Now, this is something that if you have not watched some Netflix shows, you may be like, why is it a shorter season? Well, they did this with Voltron too. It was a popular show, so they wanted to get more episodes out faster to the audience. Instead of making them wait a whole year, they gave us it in like 2 waves. So they do count them as different seasons though. So this is season 2. It is only 7 episodes, but I would expect another 8 episodes or another 7 episodes in the next couple months, like the next 5 months or so. Next 6 months, you might get another couple episodes. So that's what they did with Voltron. I expect the same thing with She-Ra. But anyway, so last season we got introduced to the whole premise. You know, we got introduced to the world. We got introduced to the characters. We met. We had our first interaction between Catra and She-Ra and everything like that. We met the princesses. We had this big battle, and now we're in season 2. The battle's still going on. Catra's in charge of the Horde guards. Hordak is there. We have, the sides are drawn. We know who's on what side and everything like that. So this is more of a character season, I would say, because we do get some insights into some of the characters, and they're also building up some of the mysteries of the world. So we do still get the thread from the first ones. We find out more about them in this season. We get to know a couple spotlight episodes. We have a couple spotlight episodes on a couple of the characters. I think the problem with this season, though, so far is that it is a 7 episode season, so you don't get as much development as you want. It does feel like a mid-season finale, the 7th episode. So let me get back to what else we get. So we do get to those spotlight episodes. We get She-Ra in training, and something new for She-Ra is her sword can now change into different things. So like she's fighting, and then it turns into a lasso. And she's like, what am I supposed to do with this? And what it is it turns into what she needs at the moment or her subconscious. They don't really explain it, but it's usually something that she would need in that moment. Like if she needs to, like if it's better to tie something, and bring it down than to stab it or, hit it with the sword, that's what she gets. If she needs to defend herself, she gets the shield, and stuff like that. And also some silly stuff like, it turns into a cup, turns into a vase, a scepter, a royal scepter. So there are different things that she uses it for, which is, it's a cool thing. We also see an episode where her and Swiftwind had to bond. They had to bring this first one, beacon back together, and so they can save Light Hope, so they can repair Light Hope. And Swiftwind and She-Ra bond a little bit in this. I personally miss Spirit. Like I watched the original She-Ra, and we had Adora, and she became, her horse was Spirit, and then she transformed Spirit into Swiftwind, and he grew wings and a horn and all that on his head. So I would like to see Spirit, but I do get what they're going with Swiftwind here, is because he's more of the comical relief, and he has more of a character here than in the show where he was just her steady steed, you know? One thing that is revealed in the season is that the main core team, which is Bo, Glimmer, and She-Ra, learn that Entrapta is A, alive, B, with the Horde, and C, that she's not being prisoner, she's actually working with them on her own free will. So like that's like a real gut punch for this team. We get a little interaction between Bo, Glimmer, and Catra when they capture her, but she turns the tables on them and almost captures them. So that's something. We also see the origin of Shadow Weaver more. We knew that she was a member of the Magic Guild and all that, but now we get to see a little bit more about her. We get a whole episode about her. She was called Light Spinner. She was a magician, a magic wielder, and she wanted to cast a spell which would give her great power. She had a student who had great potential. The council said no, so she used a student, but the student saw that it was dark magic and was like, no, he pulled back, and that is what caused the dark energy, the dark magic, whatever, to really take her over, and that left her disfigured and all that. But even before that, she still covered up her face from here down. And she did this so she can save the planet, because she really did care about the planet. She wanted to save it. She didn't seem like she was searching for evil magic. It wasn't one of those origins. She was just searching for a way to defeat the Horde. So, because the princesses weren't doing their jobs. They weren't defending the world, and she knew that it was going eventually they're going to lose the planet. So, she then goes to visit Hordak and offers her services to him, and that's how we see that she came to be. There's also some indication that this is where she also meets Andorra for the first time, where Hordak says that he went someplace and he was too late and all he got was this baby, which is Andorra. Now that could be hinting, that and something else could be hinting at a possible He-Man appearance, because in the season, Hordak is being helped by Entrapta to build a portal, and he says about backwards planets and stuff like that. So maybe he's going to go to Eternia, and maybe we can see She-Ra's twin brother, He-Man. That would be really interesting if they do that. Again, the rights to He-Man and the rights to She-Ra are a little bit different, so it'll be interesting if they do get the rights to do He-Man in this universe. A big thing from last season was a lot of people saw a romantic relationship between Catra and She-Ra. Adora. This season, I think we get a little bit more of that with Scorpia. She seems to have this crush on Catra and is trying to be a part of her. Now that could also just be a friendship. She wants just to be her bestie, like she says. But I could see that being a little bit of romantic interest too. On Catra's side, we also get this relationship with her complicated relationship with Shadow Weaver. It becomes even more complicated because even though she abused her and made her feel like crap her whole life, she was still the only mother figure she had, and because of Catra's wanting approval of Shadow Weaver, she helps her escape by accident. She doesn't realize she's doing it, but she gives her a little magical guild charm that she said, just bring me my magical guild badge. That's the only thing, because we're going to send her off to Beast Island, which is worse than death sentence. And she wanted that, and she made a little sigil, and she disappeared out of the prison. Hordak, we know that he's building that thing, but there's also a little moment here where we see Hordak's kind of getting dressed or whatever, and he's got some scars and stuff on him, so there's some stuff going on with Hordak, which I think is interesting. I would like to see where they go with that. later on in the seasons. We also get to see some of the other princesses. We see Mermista, Frosta, who kind of wants to be Glimmer's bestie because she never had friends and she really bonded with Glimmer. There's a little bit of a touch on that in the episode. We get to see Seahawk again. We get to see Perfuma. We don't get to see much of the other princesses, honestly. We get to see them in maybe 1.5 to 2 episodes. That's it. Which is a shame. I really wish they would have gave us more of that. But we do get to see an episode all about Bo. Now, this episode I'm torn on because it's also the season finale, or, whatever, the season finale this year, or as I call it, the mid-season finale. That's what it felt like. And we get to see Bo's parents, his two dads. Now, last season we learned that he had 2 dads. He kept saying my dad, so we knew he had 2 dads. But what we didn't know was that Bo lied to them. He's one of, I think, 13, they said, the youngest of like 13 kids, and his fathers are historians. They run a library that's like in the woods and is like covered in vines and everything. They want no part of the war. They want no part of the princesses or the rebellion or anything. They're just happy to be, collectors of First One artifacts and stuff and knowledge. That's all they want to do. And they raise in Bo to be like that. They want him to take over the museum when they're gone, the library when they're gone, and that's how he's going to be. So Bo lied to him and told him that he was at a history boarding school, boarding school focused on history and stuff like that. And in the letters he wrote to his fathers, he told them about Glimmer and Adora, and he basically lied about everything. He told them that, Glimmer is she's a physics major, and Adora is I forget what it was, but she was like a major in like history or something like that. And when they're there, they find out that he basically has to. They had to save their parents, his parents, and She-Ra changes to She-Ra. Bo has to rip off his shirt and become, the warrior. Glimmer shows that she's a princess with the magic and all that. So the fathers talk to him, and he's like, "I'm sorry, I lied and everything." They were like, "We don't care. We accept you for who you are. Just, we wish you would have told us and been honest." And at the end, they hugged all of them together. So I do like the episode. I just have a problem with it because season 1, I felt like they said that it was explained that he had, Glimmer knew about his, I felt like they were supposed to have known each other for a long time, Glimmer and Bo. They were supposed to know each other since they were kids, and she knew his fathers. I even think there was a thing mentioned about his fathers coming to a meeting or something. But I could be wrong about that. But I felt like it was already mentioned. And now we find out that the fathers knew nothing about what Bo was doing. They don't want to be bothered with the rebellion or the princesses at all. So it just felt a little bit uneven with the continuity with that. That was my only problem with that. But there was also another episode that I really enjoyed. It was their Dungeons and Dragons type episode where they're trying to figure out how to storm the castle and take it back from the Horde. The reason why I liked it is because there's this one scene where Bo is trying to, he becomes the dungeon master, and he's like, "This is how we should do it," and he's saying how they should all do it. And as they're each telling the story, or, each plan is being explained, we get to see it played out, as an episode, as a piece of an episode. So, when Bo gets to his, we see Bo looks more like the Bo from the cartoon, He has the Bo costume from the cartoon. He has a mustache, but he still looks like Bo, And then we see She-Ra is in her traditional She-Ra, the classic She-Ra costume. She's like, and all the princesses are in their traditional costumes. They're like, oh my god. And then we see, we see Catra, she could change into a cat, which she doesn't do in this show, but in the real show, in the original show, she could change into the cat. So they were like, "Can she do that?" And they're like, and he was like, "No, but I got a toy that I got a figure that I wanted to use, so for now she can." But so I like that episode. Overall, though, this was a good season. I think it was a nice, fitting season. Again, I think it was more character moments here, but because they do break it down into smaller episodes, I think season 3 will be better, because that will probably get to where all the stuff that they were building up in this season will probably play out in season 3. Which again, something that they've done with Voltron, because they break a basic season up into 7 episodes and 8 episodes, or 7 and 7, or whatever. They try to divide them up so it's maybe we'll get 7 and 6 episodes. Don't know, but they try to divide them up so this way we get 2 shorter seasons, but it basically essentially equals 1 bigger season. So I enjoyed this season. I thought it was really well done. I only give it probably 4.25 stars, because I think it is a well done series, and I'm interested in seeing what's going to happen with Shadow Weaver, who by the end is in where the princesses are in their castle, and she's hovering over Endora as she sleeps. So what is her connection to Endora? We know that she's not her mother, because we know Endora comes from someplace else, and she just feels a connection. She feels the power from Endora. So I'm wondering what happens there, what they're going to do with that, and what's going to become of everybody. Because Catra was left, where is she going to be killed by Hordak? He's sucking the air from her. So I would like to see hear what everybody else has to say about this episode in the comments. Let me know what you guys think of it. Was this better than last season? Are you looking forward to next season? What are your problems with this season? Tell me all that stuff in the comments below.